and welcome everybody on this fine Monday to the Silent Hill Ascension pre-show. I'm one of your hosts, Eduardo, joined here by none other than Layla, who's going to, let you, the audience, know about our runner show for today.
What an enthusiastic intro today, Eduardo. Today it is 5:40 p.m. Pacific. You know what that means. It means in about 20 minutes at 6 p.m. Pacific, you will see the Silent Hill Ascension show. And then I shall retire after the indoor stream into the witness black box where they keep me. And Jacob will take my place to hang out with Eduardo for the rest of the night. Eduardo, for folks who may not know, would you tell what Ascension is?
Right, of course. And here's the thing. Silent Hill Ascension, as many of you know, I would suspect at this point, socially interactive streaming series where all of you collectively shape and experience its ever-evolving story. You collaborate and compete with others to try to make the choices you want to see occur. When each decision ends, that choice is canon. That's the version of the show everyone sees, that you, all together, the participating, make and continue to make every single weekdays now. We're going to throw to our setup scene video. Production's going to put that up in a bit. This is where essentially, they're in the ice hotel. Nils is like suggesting, gotta get out. Suggest to get a boat out of town. Astrid asks Nils and Britt to go in search of what? One. So I'll be playing. Enjoy.
We have to go.
Where? Wherever we go, those things follow us.
I don't know, but...
Britt, I'm not taking Orson back out there. He needs to rest and...
Astrid, we can't stay here. Not when the whole town thinks we're responsible for what's happening.
She's right. You need to leave town. Maybe things are okay outside of Stillydalen.
How would we do that?
Last I checked, this is a fishing town, yeah? How about the boat?
Nils, it's like the whole town's looking for us. What if we run into them?
I've never known you to back down from a fight, Britt. But we could always create a diversion.
we don't even know if there are any boats left.
We won't know until we look.
Okay, but we all stay together.
I don't think that's a good idea.
What?
You heard your sister. Orson's exhausted. It's too dangerous to take him with us, and someone needs to stay here to protect him.
I'll be okay here. Leo's looking out for us.
Okay. But if we find a boat, promise me you'll come with us. All right. Let's get the fuck out of here then.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that scene, whether it was your first time watching it or you got to see it again. Now, we're going to talk about the story from last week. We're going to have our production team put what was really the iconic scene of the week, where Astrid decides Aurora's ultimate fate. That was pretty early in the week on Monday, but that was a really key scene here, Layla.
Yeah, what a way to kick off last week, right? Today, I feel like, Friday's show was a little bit more of like a setup for what's likely to come, but last Monday it was off to the races right away, right? Like we had Aurora begging for eternity and not getting it, and then Barbara getting hugged to death, which as far as like ways to go out, I wouldn't mind.
You wouldn't mind that hug? Like, I don't know. I'm not into that one. Like, but I do like essentially like how this is like, oh yeah, the audience, good news. Aurora is safe. And then like Barbara starts talking and gets the cathartic ending as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, it looked quick, right? Which Barbara, well, she was almost bloodlet by a child, and then she did get pistol whipped by Rachel a couple of times. So she's gotten her fair share of bruises and bumps and boo-boos. So, it only makes sense that she went out kind of quick, like, via hug. Aurora, though, we don't quite know what's going on with Aurora yet.
No. Like, she's kind of still around. There we go. There's the moment. Lovely.
Hey.
Good stuff. Now,
What a hug.
yeah. I mean, so that was a really key scene, right? Because this is again a scene where kind of Astrid and Rachel are, in the overworld. That's where they're meeting up. That's kind of, not the best place to meet, but really they don't really have a choice, like. So here's the thing: they haven't really invented teleportation in our world. So like the our world really breaking scientific barriers here for everybody.
Yeah, that one's not so much teleportation as just like vibes connection, as far as I understand it. A sort of just one miserable mutual nightmare. I think is the best way I can put it. But yeah, man, it is. If I were gonna, I would love to travel, right? It'd be great. I don't think that if you were to give me an offer, me notoriously afraid of planes, if you're like, well, I'm going to put you on a plane to Norway, or you don't have to leave your house and you're technically not going anywhere, but you could like kind of sort of maybe lucid dreamish, being in a hellhole with a Norwegian, I think I'd pick the plane.
Yeah, that's a reasonable take. By the way, one thing I've been enjoying as the weeks progressed is, the scenes got quieter, so I got to listen to more closely to more of the soundtrack. And if you missed our interview on Friday, I'm really sorry there with Neko Face. Noah had a blast. And if you were there Friday, I hope you enjoyed that. But we get to hear more of the music as the scenes play out, as they're calmer in a way. You get more of that. And I really liked some of those scenes, actually, including that one in our setup scene with Britt. Like, got to get more of an earful. Now, but we press on. The week continues, and there's a decision that's going to play out later this week. This is kind of our ongoing decision. Production going to put that up on screen. And Layla, if you might.
Absolutely. So we got an ongoing decision. Who will Rachel decide Faith will be safest with? Will it be Eric, herself, or Nora? Eduardo, would you like to cue our little magic trick?
Sure. So production, shuffle. There we go. Did I actually shuffle? There we go. Now it's shuffled.
There it is. Hey!
Well, I mean, it's shuffled. Basically, so one of the things, right, is as the decisions get hidden, we put hidden mystery technology as much as we can. So we shuffle as we prepare the content. So there are cues are shuffled. So even if Layla read it differently to what was on your screen, that's why we shuffle it beforehand and we shuffle it afterhand. It's shuffling everywhere. Anyways, one of the things here, right, is we get more clues on this ongoing decision, Layla, as time progresses, right? Because you're like kind of, oh yeah, Eric, right? He's the good father. He's the one who'll do anything for his daughter. But Nora's stepping to the plate. Rachel, like a little bit in more of a difficult position, but as the scenes progress on, it's interesting how my view on which answer to go for changes.
Yeah, I mean, Nora has been a kind of steady presence ever since she's entered the fray, which is, let me tell you, admirable considering she entered the fray, was immediately locked up by a cult, got out, locked up again, and then now she's dealing with the situation quickly deteriorating in Hope's Junction while figuring out what the hell's happening surrounding, like her dead brother. So it's quite a big task here. And now she possibly might be like incidental godmother to this devil child. So a lot to do for Miss Nora over here.
No. And she, I like that Nora has her own agenda, that she's like not losing sight of what she has to do. I do want to point out Zaxner in our audience saying that people who hate Eric are heretics. Which, yeah. Congratulations on your recent parenthood, since I presume you graduated from terrible dad joke university. But I wanted to highlight that for sure because it's important. We need to celebrate the things that are kind of important with our audience. We love to see how you kind of progress and how you evolve as we go with time. But Pennsylvania also evolving with time. People running all across the city. Production team is going to put that up. Well, I say Pennsylvania, but I really mean Hope's Junction, because really localized to not a great situation there, Layla.
No, I would agree. Pretty rough stuff over in Hope's Junction. But hey, Ashton and Rachel catch their breath after killing a monster, but Rachel wonders if the heralds were right. after monsters descend on the bar, Eric, Nora, and Faith take refuge in the laundromat. I remember Chad was talking about bringing back the laundromat. There it is. We're back. Rachel tries to reunite her family, but finds Hope's Junction in shambles. Eduardo, it is in shambles. There are people running around screaming. There's monsters everywhere. The Foundation is like splintering weirdly. Busy times over in Hope's Junction.
No, for sure. Like, I mean, to be fair, while they're blaming, one of the parallels I like with Norway, because it's a central theme, right? They're both blaming different families. They're like, she's blaming the Hernandez side, but she's kind of more on the side of like, now he brought them in, not like the historic side. He's just like, no, factually, he brought the monsters in when he walked in. So she's much more on par with the like, this problem is happening right now. I don't have like a deep grudge or anything, but not a fan of that guy.
No, I'll tell you, Eduardo, my brain immediately brought the monsters in when I walked in. I'm like desperately trying to make a monster joke, like the Jay-Z song. It's just, now I just have Nicki Minaj going in circles in my head, and that is making it very hard to focus on the plight of the good people of Stillidalen. But yeah, the Foundation, I feel like for a while was focused on preventing the withering, and they've kind of lost the plot, under pressure. They really fractured under pressure.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Barbara kind of succeeded in a way, right? Like, she kind of got the eternity she was asking for. She kind of wanted chaos and destruction. So, like, well, she's getting a little bit of chaos and destruction. So, in a way, Barbara's really the most successful character so far, because it comes down to your objectives. If your objectives are not for things to go well, like every character is facing the same problem. It's just that Barbara realigned her goals, right? She's kind of like, look, things aren't going well. There's monsters everywhere. That's what I want. So I succeed because I want the thing that I can't prevent anyways. So let's go.
Yeah, we were so distracted by Xavier's messy ass antics that we missed Barbara slipping away and doing a whole kidnapping on her, her machinations and such. And now you're right. She got exactly what she wanted. She got chaos and treachery and eternity, right? That is her goal.
Yeah, she didn't skip. She got her eternity. But Pennsylvania's story will develop, and I'm really fascinated with how things will go, especially with a character like Nora who has her own objectives. Eric very much reiterated that he does everything for Faith. Really a good fodder here, but we're gonna go to Norway, where fodders are distinctly lacking. And our production team's going to throw that up on screen, Layla. Not the lacking fodders, but what's been going on there. And if you could do the pleasure for our audience of reading.
Oh, absolutely. So good news for everybody not named Barbara. Aurora is safe. Astrid chooses whether her family will stay with Haugen or Nils at the Ice Hotel. Nils is just looking for a boat out of town, and Astrid asks Nils and Britt to go in search of one. What's with this family and boats?
I'm not sure. So... Look, as Neil said, it's a fish. Have you forgotten it's a fishing village? Like, kind of reminder. One of the classic horror tropes as well. Like, we need to separate. Always works out well, by the way. Never a problem to separate. Always delivers good results for the audience, not the characters. They clearly screwed up somewhere. But the thing I do like here, by the way, is, again, Astrid chose with Hagen. And I think that scene where, like, there's kind of like the morning after... And Astrid and Olivia clearly had a great night talking all night. And Britt just comes out with the classic, like, your boring conversation with Hagen got me to sleep. And Astrid's like, well, I got what I needed. And Britt was like, yeah, so did I. Which I thought was like a really nicely scripted moment, actually, yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot imagine what a scientist and a child psychologist turned cop talk about all night. I'm assuming paperwork or the scientific method, maybe hypothesizing, or Cheese Rainbow said they talked about U-Hauls and turkey basters.
I love the audience. Keep it going. Keep going with what they're talking about. Speculate. I love it. Yeah, we need to know.
give me more lesbian stereotyps, and I mean that very seriously. I am not being facetious. Yeah, it's listen, those ladies, I'm sure they were thrilled by what they were talking about. But I could see how Britt could, see that as more of like a, I put on like a good 3-hour video essay when I'm trying to go to sleep, so it's probably the same.
Yeah, I am glad Britt did get what she was like. Like honestly, she did need a good night's sleep. All the horrors, all the running away, all the difficult, traumatic situations. Good night's sleep, honestly, kind of a reward. Now I do like how she's like kind of taking back action. She had a good night's sleep, so now she's like ready to jump in action. And that's like also we're not going to show this one on stream, right? But the other decision is how will Britt overcome hostile town people to get to the boat, and that's you the audience a little bit distracted on that, or divided rather. So I'm excited to see how that pans out. That'll be on Friday, so we won't talk about that too much, but that also clearly is something ongoing. So Leonardo's 5. They talked about nursery rhymes and moving in together.
Yeah, what's Norwegian U-Haul? I can make a verb out of that.
Well, you should have asked that question. Sorry, we said those words. So, anyways, we got Jacob Navok in the post show, and it's almost time for the show. So we're going to have an explanation about our endurance scenes.
Absolutely. When the endurance scene starts, you will have to time your inputs to the actions you see on screen to help our character. Collective success means that the character's hope will rise. Otherwise, it will fall. If a character fails enough endurance scenes, they may not survive future encounters, leading to their permanent death in the story. These endurance scenes are one of the best places to earn large amounts of influence points. Remember, success or failure is a part of the collective story and not an individual judgment. And Eduardo, no better time to be racking up influence points than now, when we have shuffled and blinded our darling audience, and they don't know what path is what.
Yeah, this is you at home trying to figure out, wait, which option's which? I can't figure it out. No! Well, for some of you, I know a lot of you. We know we have also a lot of Damnation fans in the audience who, just like Barbara, love chaos and destruction. So they get served by everybody being blindfolded. But Layla, we're kind of coming on our show soon, so that's in about 2 minutes. What's been going on this last week, and what does our audience need to pay attention to?
Gosh, golly, everything, right? So we got, the children have not yet recovered from whatever it is that is plaguing them, and now their parents are in these dire situations that they must escape from, where it seems like both Hope's Junction and Stella Dolan is starting to turn on the Hernandez family and on the Johansson family, which Stella Dolan didn't love the Johansson family to begin with. The bar was on the floor. And now, Eduardo, they've got to fight for their safety, fight for their children. Aurora's still at large, so God knows when she's going to pop up like God's worst whack-a-mole, you just never know. And the withering is upon us, so it only goes downhill from here.
No, it does. And in a way, that's the thing. For our post-show as well, Layla, it was a delight having you in our pre-show, but you will be replaced by Jacob. So very different take on your chair. I won't be as matching with Jacob, sadly, for our audience. This was a pre-show special. I will be like this for later, but Layla unfortunately won't be. We won't be our fabulous selves. But Jacob is very entertaining and also gives insight like no other, since as you can when you hit the project and get to communicate all the stuff about it. So you don't want to miss that for sure. But in the meantime, very soon the show is starting. I'm gonna say bye for Layla. Please say bye, audience. She was great. And for now, I'm gonna say bye. Enjoy the show. I'll see you right after the post show with Jacob Navak.
Yes, sir, Keyblades. Bye.